Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Doak Propane, Central Bank of the Ozarks, and Great Southern Bank. This is our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And we go to Miller High School and welcome in Miller head baseball coach Justin Snyder. Coach Snyder, hey, I appreciate you setting this up for me.
Glad you could have us.
Coach, talk a little bit about, right now you're Class II state champions. Are the Cokes a little colder and the food tastes a little bit better today?
Yeah, it's been pretty busy in a good way, and I think a lot of us are still smiling, and I don't think the smiles will stop in about 48 hours, and you think things might calm down a little bit after you're done, and that's not even remotely true. I feel like sometimes maybe we're more busy now than we were, while we were playing. So, but it's all for a good thing, and just very excited that these kids get to experience what it's like to win a state championship.
Coming into this season, talk a little bit about maybe what you had to replace due to graduation or maybe even perhaps an injury, but what did you have to replace off of last year's team? You guys finished 25-5. You start 2-2, but you finished 25-5. What did you have to replace for the Miller Cardinals?
Well, so last year we had one senior that played, Bodie Goopser. He was at second base, and Bodie was a good player. He was a kid that honestly we gave him one of the most improved players of the year award last year, because to be honest, I wasn't really sure he was going to start for us even as a senior. And he just, was consistent and played well throughout the year. The only other person that we had to replace, it's not even a replace. Our catcher this year, Sam Ferguson, broke his arm, maybe like 3 days into practice last year, and was out the entire year. So we moved Caden Calvin, who took Bodie's place at second base this year. He moved to catcher for us last year and caught. And so Sam being back this year, we really lost Bodie, and that was it. We returned everything pitching wise and everything else, all of our positional players and our top bullpen guys, all of our pitching and our top guys that came off the bench. We had probably, 99% of our roster back this year.
Coach, was there a point during the season, and maybe you go back to that Marionville game where you win 14-0, a good Marionville team that had some success, but was there maybe a point during the season where you felt like, hey, we've got an opportunity to make a run here? We're playing really well right now.
Yeah, we did start out 2-2, but we did make a concerted effort to try to increase our schedule and strength of teams that we played. When I got here, they were only playing like 15 to 18 games a year, and we bumped that to 25 to 28. We thought that was a good number this year. Obviously, we wanted to get to around 30, and we ended up at 30. The Marionville's our conference is really good. Like there is not a bad team in our conference, and every night was just a fight. But between everybody, I would say probably you are probably right. The week that we played Marionville, we beat them 14-0, and then we turned right back around and played a really good Seymour team on that Thursday right before Easter, and we beat them 17-4. That might have been when I kind of realized, okay, yes, I know we have the pitching. Yes, I know we have the defense, but we are able to produce runs at a high level as well when needed, or score when needed. And then we continue to stay consistent and just build on those things, and we really hit hard since January, the ability to hit velocity, which is something that we probably didn't focus on much at all the first 2 years. We were just trying to get, what we wanted put in play. And this year, from January on, almost the entire focus was velocity, which is something I've never done in my career. I've never, usually we throw BP all the time. We don't use a lot of machines. We did switch to probably 80% machine this year, and I think it was a tremendous help for us offensively.
Now, kind of take us through that district. You lose the day before you get into districts to Stockton 2-1. Then you outscore your opponents by a total of 3 runs in 2 games in districts. So those are nail biter games.
Yeah, the Stockton one's a heartbreaker, and that really worried me because we were up 1-0 with 2 outs in the 7th inning and nobody on base. And we just had, an unfortunate, run of about 3 plays that allowed Stockton to take a 2-1 lead. And you don't know, with that being your last game before the district starts, how your kids will recover from that. It was heartbreaking. I mean, it was for the conference championship. Stockton is a great team. We had played almost perfect baseball, up until that point. And then it's just heartbreaking how that, happened. And you don't know how you're going to roll into districts. The kids, we had a few good practices before districts, but we knew that it was going to be tough. New Covenant as a 4 seed, I think they're really good and really young and scrappy and athletic. And we knew that would be tough. And we were actually losing that game into the 6th inning 2-1, and we scored 3 runs in the 6th. I had to bring Jason to throw the last 2 innings of that game, just to get to the district championship game against Ash Grove. And Ash Grove's another really, really good team. I think the consistent thing you're going to see around the area right now is that the freshman, sophomore classes everywhere are really strong. And a lot of teams are really young and playing young kids. And Coach Brown does a great job at Ash Grove of getting their kids ready to play. And the Reese kid threw a great game against us. We had to pull a little trickery and steal home to win the district championship game. But, we're not able to do that if the kids don't come to practice and pay attention to what we're trying to do on a daily basis and just continue to work hard and work on all those little things that matter. Because they really did win us a district championship. The little things mattered. And to be real honest, the little things won us a state championship.
Now you come out of your districts, you get that 2-1 win over Ash Grove. Now you've got New Heights Christian Academy, who had already defeated you earlier in the season. Talk about the matchup there and what was the difference in those 2 outcomes.
Yeah, the first matchup, Jared Lung, he's sitting here to my right, was our number 1 pitcher and main guy last year on the mound. We changed his role to more of a closer role this year. And if you look at the stat line of the first time that we played, for the first 3 innings, Jared was lights out. It was the 4th inning when they got to him. Well, Jared hadn't thrown more than 3 innings the entire year. So we were asking him to completely reverse the role that he was used to, and endurance-wise and whether we want to agree or disagree on mindset of you should be able to do anything at all times, you're still asking a 16 to 18-year-old kid to go from, hey, I need you for 2 innings, maybe 3 at most, to, hey, you're starting today and I need you to get me 5 or 6 innings. And I think it mattered. I think it did show in that 4th inning where they broke open, I think, for 5 runs in that first game. And that was their big inning. And they're a really good ball club too. Like, they're really, really good. And Coach Jordan does a great job with them. I think the difference was, obviously Jace is a difference maker. When we ended last year, I said that the one thing that we were short is we were short a power arm, that if you want to make a run at state, almost every team has a power arm. We didn't have that. We had really good pitching, but we needed a dominant, velocity arm. And when Jason rolled and came, we got that. And obviously you feel pretty good when he's on the mound, at any point in time when he's on the mound. And our game plan, Coach Lung's Jared's brother, put together a great game plan. We had video and hitting and pitching analysis from like 3 years because all their kids were seniors that we put together. I think there was a total of like 7 or 8 sheets on the dugout wall of what you've been pitched to, what pitches they've thrown to you, and what counts back from like 3 years. We put together probably one of the most detailed game plans that we could provide the kids. And then it's just up to them to execute. And they did. They've just done such a good job this year of doing everything that was asked up and through the New Heights game.
So you go to the quarterfinals. the semifinals, the championship game, those 3 games, you give up a total of 3 runs. Talk about the dominance there from the mound.
Our pitching staff's been great. Obviously our 1-2 punch here with Hayden, Schnocky, and Jace is great. Paul Nunez, great number 3. He doesn't probably get as much, media as these 2 guys do. But Paul is a great asset to our team, and we're not where we're at without him as well. And then obviously with Jared's ability to come in and close games, I can say it now. I wouldn't say it during the season, but I can say this now. You feel really confident as a coach when you know that, you've got 3 really good starting pitchers, and then you've got Jared and we got a kid named Eli Woods who throws a solid 64 miles per hour. Just somehow is that guy that just gets outs, and he came in and closed the New Heights game in the pouring rain and got us 2 outs there. So, we just felt really, really good about our pitching staff all year and how well they threw.
So you win the state championship over Eugene, 7-1. You had a big inning there with you kind of moving runners along, bunts. They made some errors, made some mistakes. You guys capitalized on it, but I think you kind of forced them to make those mistakes. Was that the game plan maybe going in, or is that something you've done all year?
Yeah, when you get to state, it becomes really hard to find information about teams out. We were given limited information, but I did have one coach that was up from, the Jeff City area that said there's not a lot of teams that bunt up here. There's not a lot of teams that are very aggressive on the base path. That most teams just wait for the big hits, and it's a big hitting community like area that they don't do a lot of small ball, and that they've not seen a lot of that. And then we had played when I was at Clever, we had played this guy a lot too. And he just made the comment. He goes, I don't think that they would be prepared for the style and the aggressiveness that you guys might put on them. Brian Harmon, the former Crane coach, made a comment before Final Four even started that he goes, do not change what you're doing just because you're in the Final Four. Continue to coach and be aggressive and do all the things you've done all year. And I don't think we changed anything. I mean, people probably think I'm crazy. I mean, we scored our first run of the game by stealing home. So, but we did it. I saw somebody write that we did all of that, and I think we only got 1 extra base hit the entire Final Four, and that is, that's just where we are. We grind it out. We're going to try to force you to make mistakes on defense, and if you're worried about a steal, you also have to cover and worry about us bunting, because we'll bunt anybody, or hit and run or anything like that. It does cause a lot of problems defensively because I think that Eugene was young on the infield, and we did, put pressure on them, and you could tell that they were a little flustered sometimes when we would put things in motion or do things.
Okay, you win the state championship. Who's the first person you heard from that was not at the game? Who's that first person to congratulate you? I know you've probably phone is you've got several texts and calls, but who was the first person?
I had a total of 114 text messages just that day from about 3:00 till probably 10:00. Then I turned my phone off. First message I got was from the group chat with Brandon Weldy, the principal at Reed Springs, Brian Harmon, Jim Julian, the coach at Glendale, Josh Hughes, the coach at Purdy, Coach Harmon and us, and then a guy named Chris Long, who's the AD at Greenfield. We've got a group chat. And I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out of that group chat that's got some pretty good, ribbing going on throughout the season. And it was just a flood of congrats from that group chat. Was the first one that I saw and opened up.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, you've got 3 of your players here alongside. Start wherever you'd like, introduce them, and we'll visit with them.
Okay. Directly to my right, I've got Jared Lung. He was a senior shortstop, our leadoff hitter, and our closer for the year. Sitting next to him is Hayden Schnocky. He's a sophomore. He's our number 2 pitcher. Had a tremendous year on the mound. I think he ended up 10-0 with like a 1.27 ERA. And then he's our third baseman and shortstop whenever Jared throws. And then sitting next to him is Jace Wilkinson, who DHs for us when he's not on the mound. But Jace, I think, was 11-1. And I mean, he throws really hard. So
very good. Well, we will We'll start with the senior in the room, and it was you're gonna have to tell me Jalen Lung. Jared. I'm sorry. I'm old, so my memory is not that good. I knew it was Lung, but I couldn't remember. But Jared, tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are on this team, especially maybe in that senior role. Maybe there's some leadership there as well, but talk a little bit about your roles.
So I played shortstop all 4 years, started my freshman year, and it kind of just built in my leadership role as everyone looked to me to be a leader since my freshman year. And I've kind of just adapted and accepted the fact that, hey, these young guys need me. So I think it's kind of cool to lead the young team that we had, and especially the young pitching we had all year.
Tell a little bit about how you get prepared for a game. Let's say you're playing tonight. What are you doing throughout the day to get maybe mentally and physically prepared? Are you looking at film? Are you looking at notes? Are you drinking lots of water? What are you doing to get ready?
I'm very superstitious. So, I mean, before the state games, I remember going home wearing my same sliding shorts that I wore the first game. And then on the way up to the game, I used to listen to music, but the whole playoffs, we played a game on our phones. Our 4 seniors did, and we played that every day on the bus, and I couldn't just stop playing it. So we had to just keep the same rhythm, and I'm just very superstitious. So whatever I do the day before, I'm doing it again the same day.
Very good, very good. If you could get in a time machine and go back to yourself when you were a freshman and give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, whether it be get in the weight room, take more ground balls, get in the cage, what are you going back and telling that freshman, as far as advice based on what you know right now as a senior?
I think, honestly, freshman year I was better because I wasn't mentally stressing myself at the plate. So freshman year I was only out there having fun. And then my sophomore, junior, senior year, I was kind of stressing that I was struggling at the plate. And then I think just the biggest thing that I would say is just have fun when you're playing.
And by struggling, he still hit 341 with an on-base percentage of almost 500. So it's a good struggle.
Very good. Who was the first person you high-fived when you realized you were the Class 2 state champion?
I think it was Schnocky. I think I tackled him, was the first person I think that I touched after we won.
It's the best tackle he's had all year.
What's it been like? You get back home, and obviously you're probably out of school already, so you're not in the hallways with some of your classmates. But what has it been like since you've got back home?
We got home and there's a lot of just people at the school waiting for us to get back. But honestly, it hasn't really changed much. I don't think it's fully set in that we won a state title, but there's been a lot of people that congratulated me and just is proud of what the team did this year.
What are your plans? You graduated, so what are your plans for next year?
I'm going to OTC just to get my general ed.
Any thoughts on what you might want to do professionally?
Not yet, no.
Oh, well, you've got time if you're going to OTC.
Those are the guys that end up coming back and coaching for me.
Very good.
Catch that bug.
Well, here's kind of a fun question. Would you rather be stranded on a desert island by yourself or with somebody you hate?
Probably by myself.
Okay, very good. Well, hey, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on the state championship and an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Coach, who do we have next?
Hayden Schnocky, sophomore, right-handed pitcher, finished the year, I think, 10-0, 9-0 or 10-0, 1.27 ERA, I believe. Is our third baseman and shortstop, depending on who's pitching. Just a great, tremendous young athlete who I'm pretty sure thought I was crazy last year as a freshman when I threw him in every big game that we had as a freshman, and he kept getting, we weren't very good last year at times. So just kept getting, tough losses. We'd be really good for 5 innings, and then we'd fall off and lose a game. I think that happened to us 10 times in 24. And I just kept telling him and told him from the get-go, we're going to throw you because it's only going to help us next year. And I think that him and some other guys might believe that now, that everything that we threw him to last year, definitely helped him out this year.
Hayden, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Tell us a little bit about what you feel like your roles and responsibilities are coming into this season, and did they change from maybe last year, and do you expect them to change next year?
So my freshman year, I came in. I was just trying to prove myself as that I could hang with like the big dogs and that I could hit and play the field. This year, it was really just trying to stay consistent with how I was the freshman year. I was trying to be better on the mound. I struggled a little bit freshman year, and just stay consistent at the plate. I had a little bit of more like leadership role on the team, trying to keep everybody up and like keep them from just getting down on each other.
Does your preparation differ when you know that you're going to pitch compared to when you're playing third? What are you doing through the day based on what you're going to be playing that night?
So before the game doesn't really change much. The way I play catch does. I long toss every day, like I pitch, but whenever I'm not pitching, I don't long toss. I listen to music on the way to every game, just like help get me like mentally focused on the game, so I can just like be dialed in throughout the game. But nothing really changes depending on where I'm playing.
You have any other like superstitions or anything?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious. I have to listen to the same kind of music on the way to the games, and then once I get there, I have to do like the same thing. I'm a routine kind of person.
Yeah. And I talk to a lot of baseball players, basketball players, typically pitchers and basketball players have this if they're warming up and say you're in the bullpen and you're getting loose and you just feel like you're on. Like, hey, it's going to be tough for them to hit me today. Do you have days like that where you feel like, hey, I'm really in the zone?
Absolutely. I had a lot of those days this year. Freshman year was a little bit of a struggle finding those days, but this year, especially the quarterfinal start against Hartville and the state championship against Eugene, after I threw my bullpen before the game, I told Sam, my catcher, that I was dialed and that whatever he called, I knew I could place and that they wouldn't be able to really touch me.
Very good. Well, here's a kind of a fun question. What is your least favorite chore?
Probably laundry.
All right, very good.
That will never change.
What are you doing in the off season?
So this summer I'm playing travel baseball for Evo Elite out of Grove, Oklahoma, and then I have school sports too.
Outstanding. All right. Well, Hayden, congratulations on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Thank you.
Coach, who do we have last?
I just want to say Hayden threw the state championship game. I don't know if I said that, and just threw amazing. Jace threw the semifinal game in the Final Four and was awesome there too. But they just do a great job. 1-2. We've got Jace Wilkinson, sophomore lefty, came to us this year, was homeschooled before this year, and he was 11-1, and his ERA was, I had something stupid. It's like like 5.1 or something like that. It's crazy. I think he struck out 156 guys this year in like, I don't know, maybe 70 innings. It's crazy. It's over 2 strikeouts a game, an inning. And then he DHs for us when he's not pitching. This is kind of funny. First off-season day that we had, Jace comes in and he goes, "I'm just a PO." And I was like, "Well, let's see his swing." He takes like 3 swings in the cage, and I looked at Coach Long and I was like, "Yeah, in Miller, Missouri, you're hitting too."
Jace, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are.
When it comes to Miller, on this baseball team, when I came to this pitching staff, I feel like my biggest role was to win this team ball games in like really hard games. And I feel like my biggest responsibility was to keep myself in the zone, because I feel like if I don't control the tempo on the mound, then other aspects of the game, you can lose the tempo as well. So I feel like staying in the game on the mound, and that's probably my biggest responsibility, was to win my team ball games.
What is your preparation like? And obviously it's probably different when you're pitching compared to DHing, but talk about what you do to kind of get prepared.
So I usually start with I have a shoulder tube, And I usually do a lot of shoulder mobility stretches and stuff, around the world stretches, all that stuff. I listen to Mexican rap music before I go out on the mound. And that's kind of my like dial music. And I do a lot of my calisthenic stuff early on, and then I work to my drive lines and plyos, and then usually do bands. And then I try to work out to around 300 feet on my long toss, and before working it into a 5-pitch flat ground before I get onto the mound on the bullpen.
Yeah, this is interview maybe 4,500 that I've done with high school athletes across the state of Missouri. Mexican rap music has never been said on this show.
I know it's different.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, sir.
Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit about you get the win over Chaffee. What was that experience like? And it's a 3-1 game, so it was in doubt until the very last out.
I came into that game. I had to win that game. And it wasn't just for the team, and it wasn't just for my reputation and the team's reputation, but it was for my grandpa who passed away a week earlier. And I knew that once I stepped foot on the mound that I was going to win that ball game for him, no matter what happened. And I'm super proud of every single guy that was there in that game. And I'm really proud of Jared here, because whenever I came out of the game and was struggling a little bit in the 6th inning, he came in, he shut down that inning, and he shut down the next one to give us the win. So, yeah, I knew that we were going to win that baseball game, because I knew that when I stepped out there, I was going to give it all I had.
Very good. Well, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. You bet. Coach, I greatly appreciate you helping set this up. You know, I know it's been a whirlwind. Like you said at the onset, you may be more busy now than you were when you were practicing every day. But, and gentlemen, it's been an honor to get to know some of you. And for Hayden, I went to school with a Schnocky, so there's probably some background there as well. But, Coach, tell us a little bit about what's in store for you now as you head through the summer. I understand you're an administrator there as well. Do you have summer school? What's it like for you?
Yeah, I've got summer school. We only have elementary summer school, so I'm over there for a week, and then, you know, for the next couple weeks, my job and responsibilities are mainly just making sure that everything's in order for the fall, and for all the fall coaches, and you know, making sure schedules are set and things like that. It's just, you know, the little things for scheduling to umpires to officials for volleyball and basketball or football for us. You know, just a little administrative tasks that along those lines, but you know, you can kind of work at your own pace in June. So it's kind of nice.
Very good. I have one more question for all of you. You can just signal by raising your hand if it's to the affirmative. And I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And the question is, do you always wear your seatbelts?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't follow directions. I said, raise your hand. There you go. There you go. Well, gentlemen, it's been an honor. Congratulations again on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And you guys have a great summer. Looking forward to next year for the folks that are returning there. And I've really enjoyed following you guys, you know, kind of growing up in that area and having a little bit of connection with my dad coaching baseball there in the early 1990s. So, and he'd call me every day. Hey, did Miller win? You know, because he never got there. And, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, as always presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County, also presented by Oak Propane. Oak Propane for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties. See the folks at Doak. This is our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week segment presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. We go to Concordia High School. And we're not actually at the high school because nobody on this screen is at the high school. But Concordia, Missouri, and in some cases they may not even be in Concordia. But home of the Orioles and the two-time defending state Class 1 softball state champions, Concordia Orioles, and head coach Amy Meyer. Coach Meyer, thanks so much for your time today. And I know you're out on vacation, but thanks for setting this up.
No problem. Glad to do it.
Coach, before we get started, just a little background on yourself. How long have you been the head coach there at Concordia? Where did you go to high school, college, and how did you arrive at Concordia?
This was my 15th season coaching at Concordia. I went to high school at Santa Fe High School in Alma, Missouri. Big rivals of Concordia High School. And then I went to college at Northwest Missouri State University. And I taught at Rich Hill High School for 1 year, and then this position opened up at Concordia, and I've been here ever since.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, just got a couple seniors there on the board, a junior and a sophomore, but those seniors are 98 and 14 over their 4 years, 3 consecutive Final Four appearances. Tell us about this group and what makes them special.
They're studs, aren't they? That's pretty cool. These girls have been playing together for a long time, and I don't think I've ever had a more dedicated group of ladies than these seniors. This whole team really. But the seniors, when they were freshmen, you could tell that we were going to have something special the 4 years that they were on the team, because they were just so dedicated and they worked so hard. I mean, all season long. So
now, coming into this season, you're the defending state champion. Talk a little bit about maybe what you had to replace due to graduation. What were some of those positions, if any, that you had to replace coming into this year, and who stepped into those roles?
We lost 2 seniors last year. We replaced first base, and we also lost a pitcher in Kaya Inman. She graduated last year, and she played first base and also pitched a little. So we had to have Ava step into first base, and then we lost a player who Chloe Johnson was our other senior, and she hit quite a bit for us in the season and played a little bit on the field. So we had to fill those positions, but I think coming into the season, we were pretty confident with who we had in those positions. So
coming in to this season, what was it like as far as scheduling? Did you have to upgrade or maybe go outside to get other teams? Because you're the defending state champion, back-to-back Final Fours coming into this year. Did your schedule change at all?
Yeah, we really worked on the schedule for this year and tried to get it as competitive as we could. So We started with the Joplin tournament and played a lot of Class 2 teams. And we added Warsaw to our schedule, Skyline. We added a pretty hard competition. I think it paid off in the end.
You know, you mentioned Warsaw. The 2 losses on the year for Warsaw, and one of them was you. And they end up winning the Class 2 state championship. Did you have any interaction with them at the Final Four?
No, I didn't really get to talk with anybody down there.
Was there a point during the season where you felt like, hey, if we stay healthy, we've got an opportunity here to go back to back? Was there a game maybe that stands out? Maybe it was Skyline, which was a loss, but it was 2-1. Skyline's very talented. Maybe it was that win over Mount Vernon in the Adrian softball tournament. Was there a point during the season where you felt like we've got an opportunity to go back to back?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think we had that feeling at the beginning of the season, just knowing what we had and kind of looking into our district competition and then who we would meet up with the quarterfinals. But yeah, I think, beating Warsaw, I think it really solidified the thought that we absolutely could go all of the way.
Again, we're visiting with the Concordia Eagles, the softball team, Class 1 state champions here on the Missouri Sports Network. Head coach Amy Meyer. Coach, start wherever you'd like. Introduce, maybe go right above you to Olivia and tell us a little bit about Olivia and what she brings to the team.
Okay, so Olivia Hemme was our pitcher. She brings a lot to the team. Olivia is one of the hardest workers that I think I've ever had the opportunity to coach. She is really solid all over the field. She played shortstop, 2 years ago? Freshman year?
Yeah, freshman
Yeah.
year.
Okay, and then first base as well. But she's a great softball player and a hard worker. She's committed to Crowder. She's going to go play at Crowder College.
Outstanding. Well, Olivia, first off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you.
For being part of the Athletes of the Week segment.
Thank you.
Now, tell us about what position you played this year and what your roles and responsibilities were.
I played pitcher almost every game this year. I pitched most of the time, and that's basically my biggest role in the team. I just pitch strikes, and my team backs me up on the offense. I also hit third this year, so my role is to hit people in, basically.
All right. What do you do to kind of get prepared? Let's say you're playing a game tonight. What are you doing throughout the day to kind of get prepared physically and mentally? Are you getting a lot of rest, drinking lots of water, eating healthy? What's going through your mind?
I actually try not to rest too much because I tend to try to stay in my bed too much. I try to do something, be active during the day, try to drink water as much as I can. And yeah, I don't know.
Any superstitions?
I have a lot of superstitions. I have to wear 2 hair ties during the
Okay.
game, or I will pitch bad. I can't do a braid. I can't do anything. I have so many superstitions, but I can't remember them all.
Okay, going into the state championship game.
Yeah, no
eye
eye black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going
Sorry.
into the state championship game, what are you doing to get prepared there, and what was it like? And I know you've been there a year ago, but what was about this year, and did being there a year ago help with nerves, knowing that you had been there? But what are you going what are you going through that day of the game?
I just just try to keep the nerves as low as possible because I'm really an anxious person. So I just try to, I don't know, enjoy it as much as I can. Just be with my team as much as I can and take it as no nervous. It helped a lot being there too, do the whole schedule, and I knew what things go on.
As you look back, and are you a senior? Okay.
Yeah.
As you look back at your high school career, if you could go back and play one game over again, maybe it was a game maybe you had a no-hitter, maybe you had a lot of fun in that game, or maybe it's a game that got away from you that you felt like you should have won and you'd like to go back and take another shot at it. Is there one game that stands out, or maybe even two games that stand out as games you'd like to go back and play again?
Definitely my freshman year, we lost in the district championship 3-2. And that was really heartbreaking because we were the number 2 team in class. So that was really heartbreaking game because we could have been to the Final Four times.
All right, Olivia, if you could get in a time machine and go back to that Olivia Hemme who's an 8th grader or 7th grader, give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, whether it be get in the weight room, get in the books, do whatever, calm down. What advice would you go back and tell that young Olivia Hemme in the 7th or 8th grade based on your experiences at this point?
I would tell to, I don't know, be less like uptight about everything and just enjoy every moment more because I just get too like frustrated sometimes and I just get overwhelmed a lot. So I just needed to calm down and be less anxious about everything.
All right. What more fun questions here. What's the last meal that you cooked?
Butter noodles. That's nice.
No red sauce.
That's my
Not
favorite.
the butter noodles.
I don't like red sauce.
All right. Olivia, hey, once again, congratulations on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol. All right.
Thank you.
Coach Meyer, who are we going to next?
Let's go to Emily, the other senior.
Okay. Emily, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am outstanding. Is it raining there by chance?
It's like it was sprinkling this morning, but I don't think it's raining right now. At least at my house.
It has poured 5 a.m. this morning here. But Emily, tell us a little bit about what position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are.
Well, I'm the catcher, so I'm back there making my pitcher Olivia look good. I'm keeping the balls in front. I'm controlling the bases and the base runners and talking and communicating with my team. I am the first batter also, so my job was rolling for our team.
Tell us a little bit about with the number of games you played and your grade. You've probably seen a lot of the same umpires. What is that umpire relationship like? Do you have favorites? You don't have to name, but you have guys that you work really well with.
Yes, so there's like a set of 3 or 4 umpires that sort of rotate out during the year at home or in the surrounding schools. And Olivia knows them too, and Ava. I'm sure we all know them, but I'm not the best with names. But they know us, we know them, and we sort of joke around and have a fun time. So it's really fun.
Now, you say yours well, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what decision have you made as far as next year? What are you going to do?
Well, I had committed to play at State Fair Community College for softball, but I've torn my ACL and meniscus again, so I'll be working this year doing rehab and getting surgery to maybe come back my sophomore year of college and play for State Fair.
Outstanding. Okay. Now some fun questions. If you could go back and play any game again, what game would you go back and play?
Okay, when you asked Olivia this question, I was gonna say the Wellington game, our district championship, our freshman year. It was just such a close game, and a couple things we could have done could have pushed us through to get a win, and then we would have gone to the Final Four.
What's your least favorite chore?
My what?
Your least favorite chore?
Oh boy. Mopping the floors.
Very good. Very good. Well, Emily, hey, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Coach, where do we go next?
Let's go to Ava.
Ava, how are you?
I'm good.
See, Ava and I have known each other a lot longer than I've known you guys. Ava was the first one here. She clicked on the site at 10:52.
Wow.
Or at 9:52. 10:52 should be really late. But 9:52. And she is at work, so she's on a break. But Ava, first off, tell us what position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are.
So I am the first baseman, and my roles and responsibilities are keeping the ball in front, catching the ball, and doing whatever I can to make the play.
What do you do to kind of get prepared on a game day? What are you going through to get prepared?
I don't have like much of a schedule. I'm a very show up and play. But I will say I do have to drink an Alani every morning. Otherwise, I will be dead. It's an energy drink if you don't know what it is. But
Okay, very good. What was it like to get back to the Final Four? What was that whole week like? I know you got pushed back because of rain. What was it like just from your point of view?
so it was very like nerve-wracking, of course. So our bus had left, and everyone on the bus, we're hyped. Everyone's at the four-way hyping us up, like back to back, let's go, So we're all on the bus screaming, yelling, we're getting hyped. And then they're like, we got to turn around. You guys don't play till tomorrow, or you guys aren't going down till tomorrow. So we're kind of all bummed out about that, But in my head, I don't think that set any of us back. We were all just excited to go down there. So I think we were ready all around. We were just really excited to be there.
All right, so the last out's made, you realize that you're back-to-back state champions. And who's the first person you hugged?
The first person I hugged, I think I remember, was Olivia and Emily. They were both hugging each other. And a little background on us is we played together since we were, 10 years old. So that moment right there was just special. I mean, the last time we'll ever play high school. I don't want to get emotional here, but they are my teammates. So that was very special for us.
Very good. Since you've got the state championship, you've gotten back to town. Is the soda pop a little colder and the food taste a little better?
Oh my, you don't even know. I can't describe it. Words can't describe that feeling.
What would you rather, here's a little fun, would you rather be on a deserted island by yourself or with someone you hate?
By myself. By far by myself.
All right. Well, Ava, hey, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And now I believe we've got Kinley.
Yep.
Kinley is the sophomore, so she gets to follow everybody. Kinley, tell us about what position you play and what your responsibilities are.
I play center field, and not many people hit. Olivia's really good. So I think my biggest responsibility this year was picking my team up in the dugout and just making sure everyone has confidence in themselves.
As a sophomore, you're playing in the state championship game. Okay. What were your nerves like? How did you kind of calm yourself down?
I just because I knew this was my last game, and so I wanted to make it and have fun with them. I'm really close with the senior class, so I just wanted to that
Yeah.
vibe.
All right. I lost that little bit of audio. What did you say there?
Just all of it.
No. Just the last 10 seconds.
I'm really close to seniors, and so then I get frustrated. I didn't to put that on them, especially for their last game. So I kind of just went in there with confidence and
Were you more nervous before the state championship game or right now?
right now.
That's good. That's good. All right. A little fun question here. What is your least favorite vegetable? Okay. Very good. All right. Well, ladies, again, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being athletes. Congratulations on back-to-back championship. Coach Meyer, thanks so much for setting this up. I know everybody's in different locations, and it's not the first time. I had a Rockhurst soccer team on that some of them were at gas stations. They were like in 8 different locations. So I hope everyone can hear me okay, because I have one question remaining for all of you, and you can signal to the affirmative by just raising your hand. And I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. The question is, do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Hey.
I ain't gonna lie, that's bad juju. I'm trying to get a back-to-back state title. I ain't putting no juju on me.
But we're going to work on that seatbelt, right?
Oh, yes. I gotta get there first.
Okay.
Hey, this all started, the short story here before I let you go. About 12 years ago, I went to Lebanon High School, and I was interviewing some of the football players, and had to drive a couple of them across town. And they got in the back of my Explorer or Expedition, and they both put their seatbelts on, and I was impressed. And I asked them, I said, "Does this come from your parents? Is this something that who instilled this in you?" The coach, Christian, who's the head football coach at Lebanon, if he sees you anywhere in town at any time, you don't have your seatbelt on, your name goes up on the board. And when you get to the locker room, it's time to run. And they call it seatbelt reminders. And I mean, if he catches anybody anywhere in town and they don't have their seatbelt on, so that's where this whole "be safe, be smart, be here tomorrow" came from. So, ladies, I encourage you. Rogersville High School just recently, in the last couple of days, lost a couple of students who were not wearing their seatbelts. So, ladies, it's been very, very much my pleasure and my honor to get to visit with you today. Congratulations on the state championship. 2 seniors will be watching your growth and performances as you go forward. Emily, I hope you heal quickly.
Thank you.
God bless you all, and have a wonderful day. Coach has my email and my cell number if you ever need to get in contact with me for anything, whether you've got an accomplishment that you want to promote, you've got an accomplishment. Hey, that's what the Missouri Sports Network is all about. All right?
Thank you so much.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds you, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. 3 seconds that could save lives. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevy.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network here on High School Game Day. MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb alongside. And want to welcome everybody back, and we're going to visit with our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and they are the Class II softball state champions, Warsaw Leda Wildcats, and head coach Kelly Ironman. Coach Ironman, hey, thanks for setting this up and your patience here as we've tried to navigate and get everybody on the air.
Absolutely.
Coach, take us through the season, just kind of put a bow on it, so to speak. 24-2, just 2 losses, only 1 in the state of Missouri. But kind of take us through the season. Was the expectations high coming in? Because the only 2 seniors you've got are sitting next to you, so you've had a really good run. Tell us a little bit about the season.
Yeah, we have had a great season. We started off a little bit rocky. Our all-state catcher ended up being out at the beginning of the season, so we didn't know how that was going to go. But we knew it was going to be a promising season. We went down to Arkansas, and we saw the girls all work together and show what they can do. So we did have high goals, but we didn't know how far exactly it would take us.
Tell us just a little bit for the people viewing, a little bit about your background, where you went to high school, college, and how long you've been there at Warsaw.
I actually went to high school at Warsaw and was lucky enough to be on the 2010 state championship team the last time we won. And then after that, I went to Park University and got to play there and have a wonderful experience there. So once I graduated, I came back and I've been coaching at Warsaw ever since, so about 8 years. But this is my first year really in the head coach position.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, was there a point during the season where you felt like, hey, we can really make a run? Maybe a team that you defeated, maybe it's beating a Mount Vernon team at Mount Vernon back in mid-April. Was there a point in the season where you felt like, hey, this team could make a run and maybe get to the Final Four?
Absolutely. Really, even our first game of the season, we went down and played Bentonville, Arkansas, and they're always a very promising team. They win state almost every year. They're 6A, so they're quite a bit bigger than us. And we went, held them till about the 5th inning and end up losing 4-0 to them. I'm like, okay, we have a very promising team. But again, we went to Mount Vernon and we played 4 really good teams there. And we didn't give up very many runs and we made it happen and we were able to win those games. So I knew we had a good chance.
Well, one of those teams was Diamond that you played there, and that was an 11-0 score, quite contrary to the state championship game, which was 1-0. What were the differences in that game?
We knew their starting pitcher was out with an injury, and we knew she played really well. Our momentum was really strong that game. Once we got rolling, it was hard to get us stopped. And I think the nerves a little bit in the state game kept us from scoring a little bit. So that would be the main difference.
Very good. Well, introduce the young lady in the middle there, and we'll visit with her.
This is our pitcher, Briley Brewster.
Briley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. First off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities as a pitcher. What are your roles and responsibilities during the game? Also, maybe even in a leadership role, being one of 2 seniors.
Yeah, being a pitcher, it's a huge responsibility to be a leader of the team, especially as one of the seniors. I just feel like it's my job to be in the head role of leading the girls and just kind of the head of our defense a little bit. And yeah.
So what do you do? Let's say you're pitching tonight. You've got a ball game tonight. What are you doing throughout the day to kind of get mentally and physically ready? Drinking a lot of water, getting a lot of rest, listening to music, eating right. What are you doing?
Yeah, I try to wake up a decent time. I don't like to sleep in too much or anything like that. Make sure I drink a lot of water the night before and the day of. Eat a good breakfast, all those things. And then probably massage my arm a little bit, make sure I'm feeling good and loose. So probably all those things.
What are you doing immediately during pregame? Obviously, you're going to warm up. What are you doing? Are you stretching out? What are you trying different pitches? What are you doing just immediately before the game?
I really stretch out good, make sure I'm loose and ready to go. And then I do all my spins for all my pitches quite a few times. I warm up a lot because I like to make sure I'm ready to go. So I pitch like 30 minutes before our game starts.
What are you thinking about in the circle? Well, what's going through your mind? Are you thinking about location or rotation, or what are you thinking about before you make the pitch?
I'm thinking about location and making sure the ball spins to that location. I don't want to leave the ball flat at all. So really making sure the ball spins where I want it to go.
How long have you been in that role as a pitcher? Does this go back a long time?
I've been pitching since I was about 9 years old. So quite a few years, almost 10 years now. So
yeah, very good. Very good. Any superstitions? You got to eat the same food or?
Yeah, I have to wear my white Jesus bracelet every game. It broke one of the games and I didn't play as good. So that's a huge thing for me. And I have to wear my cross necklace too. So those two.
Do you find I've visited with a lot, and mostly this is in basketball and baseball, softball, where, if they're warming up and they're hitting their spots or they're making all their shots, then they kind of feel like, hey, I'm going to have a good day. Do you have moments like that where you're getting warm and you feel like they're not going to hit me today?
Yeah. Yep. Whenever all the pitches are moving good, I feel pretty confident. And sometimes it works out to where I don't warm up very good, and then I go in and I play just fine. So I don't know. Sometimes that works too.
Going back to that semifinal game with, I believe it was Bernie, maybe, or not Bernie. Ava. I called that game too, but I was under a tent and it started to rain maybe in the fourth or fifth inning. And I think there was a struggle to keep the ball dry. What was that like, and how did you change or adapt to that?
It was hard to keep it dry and constantly throw strikes. So I was just trying to make sure I switch the ball out if it ever got a little bit wet, because I didn't want to give up any hits or anything just because the ball was wet. So I switched it out quite often. And I just trusted my defense a little more and knew that the ball was probably going to be put in play, and just know that they're going to make a play for me.
Now you had a lot of success at the plate as well this weekend. Talk a little bit about that and what you do to kind of get prepared there.
It's hard to do both pitching and hitting sometimes. Like, it's hard to mentally be there for both things, but I feel like I did a pretty good job of being there for my team and being ready to step up to the plate and hunt my pitches and not get anything that's not a good pitch to hit.
And again, we're visiting with Warsaw Lady Wildcats, Class II state champions, and Briley, if you could get in a time machine and go back to that 9 or 10-year-old Briley and give her some advice based on what you know now as a senior, what advice would you go back and give your younger self?
I would probably just tell her to be mentally strong. It's not ever going to be easy. You're always going to have a bad day or a bad game, but it's okay. What matters is if you get back up and you're better the next time. So just be mentally strong.
You guys, as the two seniors, have won 87 softball games in your 4 years. As you look back on your career, are there games, and they may be losses, but that you'd like to go back and play again? Maybe a game got away from you, or maybe you had a tremendous game through a no-hitter or a perfect game. Are there games that you look back and you think, man, I sure like to play that game again?
Yeah, there's quite a few games. Like, We lost to Concordia this year. I would definitely want to go back and play that one. I think that we could come out on top, and we just had an off game. So I think we could go back and play that one. And, of course, I'd want to relive that state championship. So that's right.
All right. Who was, after the state championship game, who was the first person that you heard from that maybe wasn't at the game? Who was that first person to send you a congratulatory text?
Oh, geez. I think maybe one of my college coaches. They were watching online, and I think they sent me some messages after.
All right. Now, talking about college, you've made your decision for next year. Kind of let the folks know. Everybody here in Southwest Missouri knows, but kind of let the folks around the state know what you're going to be doing next year.
I'm going to be going to Missouri State to play softball. Yeah.
Very good. Again, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
All right. Coach, who do we have next?
We have Haley Cobb, who is our shortstop.
Haley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Tell us a little bit about what your roles and responsibilities are.
My role was obviously, keep the ball from trying to get to the outfield, backing up my pitcher whenever balls did get put in play, and overall just making sure my defense was up and expecting a ball.
What are you doing on a game day to kind of get prepared for a game?
The night before, I make sure I go to bed at a decent time. I drink a lot of water during game day, and then we make sure our team gets together and do team prayer as well.
Talk a little bit about pitch by pitch. We talked to Briley about what she's thinking about in the circle. Pitch by pitch, what are you thinking about at shortstop? And it's going to depend on where the base runners are, what the inning is, what the situation. But overall, kind of what are you thinking?
I'm looking at the field and thinking, if the ball gets hit to me right now, like where is it going? Making sure that the people around me know what they're going to do with the ball and kind of just expecting it.
I had a very intelligent college coach tell me one time you can eliminate half your errors by asking yourself 2 questions before every pitch. Question 1 is, what am I doing with the ball if it's hit to me? And question number 2 is, what am I doing if it's not hit to me? Because you may have to cover a base. You may have other responsibilities, a cutoff, things like that. So very good. So what are you thinking about in the on-deck circle as you're preparing to hit? And where do you hit? What about where in the lineup?
I hit third this year.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the on-deck circle to kind of get prepared on an at-bat by at-bat basis.
I'm seeing where the pitcher's throwing the ball, where they have been throwing it to the last couple batters, and knowing that if someone gets on, like it's my job to come up and make sure that they get moved.
So the last out is made. You're state champions. Who's the first person you hugged?
Riley. I went to Riley.
All right. That's fair. I was there, so I would know if you were lying. So does the food taste a little bit better, or the Coca-Cola's a little colder?
Yeah.
Got that state championship.
You definitely feel like you're on top of the world, especially right after it happens. So.
Well, what was it like when you got back to town?
We felt so loved. Our entire community was there for us. We felt supported by every single person. And it was a good feeling, honestly.
Yeah. What is outside of the state championship, that moment, is there a moment or 2 moments that will stand out that you're going to remember 25 years from now that you're going to be able to tell your kids, your grandkids?
Definitely when we got back into town, we had a whole community in our town for us, and just driving through that and being able to feel that is something I won't forget.
All right. And you are also a senior. So what decision, if any, have you made for next year?
I'll be playing softball at State Fair Community College right down the road from me.
Oh, well, good. So mom and dad can still do your laundry.
Yep.
Very good. Well, again, on behalf of both of you, actually all 3 of you, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I have one question left, and you can just signify by raising your hand. And it's for all of you, coach included, because I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
Always.
Yes. Always.
Okay. So none of you raised your hand. Hey, you didn't follow directions very well. All right. No, ladies, again, congratulations. Coach Ironman, what does the off season have in store for you? You've got everybody coming back almost.
Yeah. Well, the off season, I'm gonna have a baby, so we'll take care of that first. But we're lucky; all of our girls pretty much play on teams already, so we get to just go watch them play and let them enjoy that experience with their teams, and then we'll see them back right before season, pretty much.
Is this your first child?
No, this is my third.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, very good. Well, again, ladies, congratulations. Thanks so much for, Coach, for trusting me with your athletes. And ladies, I hope that was okay. Nobody passed out or anything. You guys good?
Yep, that was good.
All right. Ladies, hey, God bless. Have a great day. And we will talk to you soon. We'll be following your college careers.
Thank you so much.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days. Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life. Great Southern.